Hello, everyone. How are you today, tonight, this morning, this evening? My beautiful guest today is so sweet, and it is 9 p.m. by her. So she's staying up late to be with us and to share her story with you, listeners. So I can't wait to share her with you. So let's take care of some of the housekeeping stuff. I am Maureen Scanlon. I am a master life coach, and I help you recognize and elevate your self-worth and your self-confidence for your desired life. I also am obviously a podcaster, and I am an author and an entrepreneur. As I say, my ADHD is my superpower, and I just keep going. I can't do enough. So I'm thrilled that you're all here. Again, thank you for all of those reviews. We are 5 stars on Apple, and I love the ideas and I love the reach outs. I'm so excited. I've been getting so many people reaching out to be a guest and with so many interesting stories. And I will never run out of content to share with you listeners. So on that note, today I'm going to be speaking with Aisha Makara. Aisha was born in Mongolia and orphaned at the age of 2. She's now a world traveler with over 60 countries stamped on her passport. She was selected as an artist to send art engraved on golden plaques to outer space with SpaceX in January of 2023. How fantastic is that? She is the author of a recently published Joyful Living Guidebook, expounding on simple actions on how to stay joyful, centered, and vigorous in a fast developing society. Oh, that sounds fantastic. We all need that. Her book includes pictures of her original works of art. She obtained a civil engineering degree from the UIT, the Arctic University in Norway. She founded a boutique hotel and property management company in Lisbon, Portugal, managing over 30 properties. There's nothing this girl has not done. She is a member of the Burning Man Global Village. Woo! Attending 5 years as a participant, exhibitor, and community member. She enjoys a nomadic, free-spirited lifestyle in the US, traveling and selling her one-of-a-kind art pieces out of a personalized van. And she has organized over 30 art leadership and crypto conferences and festivals in Europe and across the US. Oh my gosh. I had to include everything because I was like, I kept reading and reading all the amazing things that you do. So welcome, my beautiful Aisha, to the podcast. I never knew. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Maureen. I really appreciate and your energy is just so exciting and it's just so like positive and I like actually your sweater. It's so cute.
It's a strawberry kind of day. I know. When it's a little cloudy, you
Very
gotta you gotta dress
cool.
at least a little bright. But speaking of bright, you are so bright, and obviously you are beauty and brains and talent. And I am an admirer of artists, so I can't wait to hear all about you. So what we do here at I Never Knew But My Dog Did podcast is we start off with our knee story, shall we say? Those moments in your life, and I mean, just starting off, orphaned at the age of 2. I'm sure from there were a lot of things that were struggles and knee stories. So these are the moments when we're on our knees and things just aren't working for us. And truly, my belief is we have to have knee stories to find our purpose in life. And even as hard as they are, they put us on that path that we belong on. So can you tell me, and I'm sure you have many, tell me a knee story that you feel just really changed your mind about your life, your path, your purpose, all of those things.
Um, Probably from what like a great question. In my case, I feel one of the pivot moment of my life was when I was probably 15, around 15, and I was in not in good company, like somewhere nowhere in Russia, and like my I was in not good company, so like it was, alcohol and all of this like not good things involved, and my friends started to die, and of different accidents or different things. Lot of friends I was hanging out that time, and so I was sitting there one day, and I was thinking like, would I survive until 18? Would I be alive? And because of all the like like the things that around and the way it is, and like you don't know, you kind of like don't know how things turn, because you don't know, you just don't. And you don't have any example, you don't have adults who care about you, you don't have anyone who's kind of like a really care about your well-being from the heart, or like have any compassion,
Right.
so like so that moment of my life, I decided to create who I am until I'm 70. Now I have like the list who I am until I'm 200. At that time, I was thinking like, oh, being 70 years old, it's just so old. It's like a lot of years to live. And I don't know anyone who's living so long. And, I was just feeling like in that moment, I created like idea of me, I would say.
Oh
So I
my
decided
gosh.
that I want to travel around the world until I'm 30. From 30 to 40, I want to be businesswoman. And from 40 to 50, I want to be mentoring people from around the world. And from 50 to 60, I want to be like volunteering for UN and UNESCO. And from 60 to 70, I just want to go and help people, like volunteering and helping whatever I can, with whatever I can. So I didn't see myself like having family or kids. I have these ideas of like traveling, let's say like this, just like traveling through the time. And now I have already idea of my adventure, like the way I want to adventure my life, the way I want to like do things, and go like be like Indiana Jones, or like a Lara Croft or something like that, going to the all these different like kind of like fun adventure that we still have it. I mean, when we open towards that, archaeology or whatever, you just get to go and create this idea inside and just go and explore. I'm feeling like absolutely anything is possible. And by me, creating this idea of me and just, I don't know, I just decided, probably I wrote it, as well, I remember. And the funny things, like I live it, I just somehow I do it. And it's just very funny the way it works. Now I'm kind of like rewriting my own contract with myself, like I want to live to 200, maybe 400 years, because I'm feeling like it's just so wonderful to be on the planet Earth. It's just so much to learn, and just so much to do as explorer, as adventurer, and as a traveler. And I'm just feeling like if we didn't have a time, then we created this idea of the time of the year. And I started to think recently, like if we don't have idea of the time,
Right.
how it would look like if we just stop this idea in our mind. And it's not like thinking about like how old I am, even don't have this idea, getting out of this kind of like patterns of thinking of like these cycles.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's just every time, every year, just a cycle, and we have like 7 year cycle. And I was reading recently about like I saw how the kids developing their mentality and the way they're getting like um exploring the world and feeling safe, and feeling like rebellious, or feeling like fighters, feeling like because they're living in the moment. They don't think about like tomorrow, or they're just living today. and uh,
Yes, absolutely. And
and
I,
they,
I I think, and I'm going to interrupt you just for a moment because there's so much to unpack there. And you'll see me writing because I have to come back. You're so wise. I think you're a very old soul because
yes, I am.
not a lot of us at 17 or 15 go, hey, I probably shouldn't be doing this thing with these kind of friends, and maybe I need to plan out the rest of my entire life. Okay, that's unheard. That's just unheard of. Okay. So that's how I know you are definitely an old soul. And what's magical about you is not really having the support of loved ones and not really having that guidance. You still were fearless. And you said, you know what? no one's going to help me. Only I'm going to help me. And this is what I want out of this life. The next thing that you said that I absolutely adore is that I'm so happy to be here. I want to live 200 or 400 years. That is something I have never heard. Like, I love life. I love being here. I'm so happy I contracted to come here and have the experiences, but I've never said I want to live to be 200 or 400. And that tells us you're so joyful and you take all that this life has to offer and you just soak it in like a sponge. And by doing that, you go out into the world and you travel fearlessly and confidently to all of these places. You're you're just an absolute inspiration to the rest of us to say, if you want it, go get it. Do you agree with that's who you see yourself as?
Yes, because I always say, like, when my friends say to me, "Oh, I want to do this," and I'm like, "It's so easy to do. Like, just go and do it." Like, for me, it's nothing. It just, I don't know. I'm like, right now, I want to be like the first astronaut artist in the world, before I'm 40. I don't know. But I'm just feeling like I have so many ideas the way who I want to be. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not exercising, I'm not doing like so much like work on myself, like the science or whatever, numbers or statistics or data. I'm not like really, I'm very creative, I like to like just imagine things and like, and not just imagine to do some of that. Sometimes I'm feeling like, okay, I want to do this and I want to do that. And like the things is everything have a time, and like you will feel it. I just like listen to my own body because I know that my body will guide me through that because that's what happens through the all the time. Of course, the brain getting very scared of many things because we have a programs and we've been programmed because I learned about programs when I started to learn other languages, like,
Mhm.
okay, when I learned like Norwegian, I was like, okay, in Russian we do these things, in Mongolian we do these things, and it's kind of like a different programs, and like, and after like I went to learn American English, and I was also trying to learn like British English or whatever, like from the U, like learning a little bit at university in Russia, like, and after Norway, it's very American English.
Mhm.
So from my perspective, what I learned about languages and programs, I was like, oh, everything in the program. Because in Russia, when you're studying at school, you're learning some books or like some information that, the schools was created for 10 years and after universities. And for me to study, for example, Norway was easy peasy. It was so easy because like the level of pressure that I have at the university in Russia and the level of pressure that I have in Norway, it's nothing. I can do like several courses and can finish everything in 2 years if I want to. It's just
Yeah.
like which level of pressure I want on myself because it's
Yeah.
so easy to study. It's so easy to get your good whatever like scores and everything. But like people, because I feel everyone has a different level of like kind of like train the brain. I don't know what it's
Right.
called, but like each country or each like community itself has a like, if you look from the hierarchy or like a tribal like a look at it, like I started to kind of like go deeper on a tribal level.
Mm.
I started to like understanding, okay, in a tribal, like you have someone wise, and after you have like, and I decided like, okay, if you decided to be all of it in the same time, understanding how you can actually, like navigate yourself through the energy and through the like emotions. Because like people getting lost in their emotions, and I do too. Like we're all humans. We're going through something, and it's normal. But I understand about breakups. Like every time I have a breakup, I'm like, I'm going too deep, because it's too like intense for me. Because I'm kind of like I would say connected too deep because of my background, because my partner is everything for me, like it's my father, it's my mother, it's my family for me, in that moment. And so like I started to understand it's not true. I'm my family. All the world is
Yeah.
my family.
Yeah.
Everyone that I'm meeting is my family. It's just, different way of looking at it. And at the same
Right.
time,
You can
I
make
think,
it a choice. You can make it a choice. And what I love so much about you is, you know, being orphaned at the age of 2, those are some deep-seated abandonment issues. I mean, they just are, not by any fault of yours. It's just that's the psychology of it. 0 to 6, our most formidable years. My goodness, to not have that feeling of that attachment to
The
someone.
safe place, the safe
Yes.
zone, like a safe where you get to share and where you get to fight all the time for no reason. Sometimes you even don't understand why you're doing it, because you just get to do that because it's no safe space. You cannot go and say, I'm going to my room and closing the door. It's your room doesn't exist. You
No.
don't have a room. You never have your room. And you don't have this idea, even my room or my clothes or my shoes. It's the completely different like idea of abundance. I started to kind of like transform it to like abundance, because like it's not like being personal somehow. You kind of become like one with everyone in the same time. Like it's all chaos. You get to kind of like navigate yourself through this chaos. So I started to run away. As a kid, I started to kind of like run away,
Yep.
go more outside, and I just knew like every time like adults was bring me back, because they knew, and I figuring out, okay, they know who I am. They know like which kid I am, and they're just bringing me where I stay. So I realized, after a while, of course, I started to hide. I kind of figuring out my own the things I knew how to combat, because adults general, they don't care. Like they just know that you're kind of like safe, but if something happened, it's happened. They
Right. Yeah, and
it's not.
when you have biological parents who take care of you, there's almost like this guarantee you're going to be loved. But when you don't have that, you're like out there in the world on your own. And what's interesting is I was thinking as you were speaking, it could go one way or the other. You could really like go into a
It's me.
yeah, you could go into a shell the rest of your life and fear that everybody you meet is going to leave you and abandon you, or your self-esteem could have taken such a deep hit that you never believed in yourself. Or we could go the way that Aisha did, and you said, no, heck no, I rely on me. I am smart, I am strong, I am capable, and I have abilities. When you talk about especially 60 countries and all those different cultures, wow, I love to travel. You and I have that same thing in common. I absolutely love to travel. What I love about traveling is looking at other cultures. I love getting into it. I'm not a touristy person. Like, I want to meet people in the regular what they do in their everyday life. I don't want to meet them in this like tour bus. Okay. I want to know, what is your life like? I try to speak the language as much as I can. I lived in Germany for 4 years, and I went to Austria. I went to France. So
That's so cool.
I was very cognizant of, I'm in your space. I'm not, I don't have this, I'm an American, you need to accommodate me wherever I go. No, think about if we all took that approach in life. Instead of saying you have to accommodate me, if you went out in the world and had all those people around you, and I'm certain, Aisha, you do this, but if you went out there and you interacted with all the people in your life, like, I'm interested in you, I'm interested in what you have going on, just think of what a more compassionate, empathetic, and loving world we would have. And I think that's what travel does for us. What do you think of
Yeah.
that theory?
Yes, I agree. Travels help you to a lot to understand how much people want to actually help you and how much they want to support you in your journey. And they're very happy to share whatever they have. They're very happy to like teach you language. They're very happy to show their like traditions and like even the like anything like their tradition, their culture, their food, their dance, their music, their everything. So like for me, I just understood like general like by traveling solo many places. I just understood people like very happy and want to like really learn about you, like, and they're very curious about you. Like I said, like, why do you do that? Why do you want to know me? Why, and at the same time, we're women. It's like easier for us to like be a woman. It's like a general, like I would say, I say to the people, 90% of the time, everyone is just very friendly and very nice. Yes, of course, you have some issues, like a one time in a blue moon, something can happen. But like general, like everything is wonderful. If I'm just counting the days that was like not so well, maybe 3 days of all my traveling, maybe five, but like thousands of other days, oh, I think it was good. Why I get to focus on like what was not good days? Why I get to be scared of like, okay, just one day of my thousand other days I was traveling, other days was amazingly well.
Well, and you
I
get what you put out there. So I can imagine when you're going traveling like me, I always say you will find what you seek. So if I'm going out looking for joy and I'm looking for an experience and I want to try new food and I want to meet people, that's what I'm going to get. So if people would, in relation to that, go out in the world like that and just say, I want to learn more. I want to know more. We're so stuck in our bubble
Yeah,
sometimes.
people are scary.
Yeah, and this little box, like you said, oh, I'm supposed to get married, I'm supposed to have kids. And you said, heck no, I've got my life planned out, 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s, 40s to and you're gonna live to be 200. So man, you got a lot more planning to do. How do you think
I'm gonna sail around
your
the world. I want to be first artist, artist. I have so many dreams, and I live in them. Oh, I'm living my dream.
you
But the
are?
point is like, yeah, I just feel like I am. And the funny things like people have this like a box. Less people travel, or they don't have any experience outside of their country. They don't understand so much the flexibility of the brain by living in other countries, learning about other cultures and traditions, and like it's kind of make your brain more flexible, and understanding better. It helps you like navigate yourself a little bit better through the globalization itself, because what's happening right now, we're like moving very easily right now. We can live anywhere in the world, and it's happening more and more. So
Mhm.
like in I feel like eventually in some, I don't know when, but I just feel like in some point in our lives we just been just free. It's no borders, it's going to be anything. In some point it just doesn't make sense anymore, because it's like, why? Like, why do we need the like it's already like it's every like, if you look at the statistic, like a general, like how these things improve itself, and the people actually, if you look at the United States, for example, like all the crime of the United States, it's on the West Coast or East Coast. Like it's not so much in the center of United States. People are peaceful. They're more like to go to the church. They're very like like chill and happy. They don't travel so much outside of states. But the thing is like they way more like a family oriented, way
Mm,
more like relax as well.
yeah.
The people on the coast side and the both side, crazy, what they do, and like and how they live, and like many things, the way they kind of like they kind of this generators of the everything was happening, like, and I don't see it's happening the same in in any I'm just giving an example of United States, but like it's the same in, for example, in Europe. Like if you look from the European Union, the most the money that who make this money, and the way the system works, and it's Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Holland, like England, France, the other countries, like they don't do so well, because the way they are, the way the brain works. Why? Because like I was sometimes thinking, why? Because they have a winter. Germany has a winter, so they always get to plan ahead and think a little
Right.
bit like long term. And the South, they don't have it so much because they don't have a winters. They don't have a cold winters, and they don't need. They have a seasons. Oh,
Hmm.
in these seasons we get a lot of oranges. Oh, in these seasons we get something else. Like, so they always have something to eat. They always have something to like. It's not the same that they get to save for the next season. Save food,
Okay.
save everything. So like in my mind, like why we're doing what we're doing? Why, for example, like people some people way more emotional and the other people less emotional. Some people like very impulsive because of the sun. If you look like people who spending a lot of time on living in the sunny countries like Brazil, or like Portugal, where right now like they're very sunny and happy people. They're very happy, they like to drink, they like to eat, They really enjoy the being in the sun. They really enjoy to be by the beach. They really enjoy to be outside, feel the sun. Because in Nordic countries or like Norse, they don't have that. They get to work all the time. They don't have this time to like relax. And now we see this different, but with a globalization, we can see all of it by us traveling and staying in many different countries and have opportunity to observe and learn. We understand like, okay, where I want to have
Yeah.
my base.
I think you're totally right on that, where, the weather has a lot to do with the culture. You're going to work around whatever your weather is. And I thought of something as you were speaking now, living in Germany, I can say I loved they were slower paced, where I feel like here we're always hustling. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And there's a difference between planning and hustling.
Yeah,
Like you were saying, we got to get the oranges. And, there's a difference where people, if you say, gosh, you need to slow down, they're like, well, I need to plan. I need to keep going. Well, no, you're hustling. You're not planning. And I love like siestas. I love the idea that let's just take a little chill in the middle of the day. Or in Germany, they would take like a 2 or 3 hour lunch break and they'd be drinking beer in the middle of the day. It was fantastic. They didn't open till 10 or 11 in the morning. I mean, and then they close again at 2. It was fantastic. I love the slower paced countries and cultures because if you think about it, what are they doing? Prioritizing family, prioritizing health, prioritizing self time, self care, relaxation, rejuvenation. You're right. By traveling, you see these different cultures. I'm a beach girl, okay? I just got back from Denver where it was snowing and it was 18 degrees. No, thank you. I had to go visit my stepson. But I do not like cold weather. I'm a hot weather girl. I grew up in Arizona, so I love the sun, but the beach is my jam. We were in Costa Rica last April. Oh, that's a spiritual place. Hawaii for me is a spiritual place. We're going to Barbados in March, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. My beach is waiting. There is a different mentality.
yeah,
What's interesting is when you said a couple of things where you said, why don't you do, your friend said, well, I want to do this. And you said, well, why don't you do it? It's so easy. But it's not for everybody. Not everybody is an old soul and capable like Aisha is. As a life coach, let me tell you, that's the struggle is A, believing in themselves, the self-confidence that you can do it, that you have a choice.
yeah,
And B, overcoming fear. Fear is, I believe, and I'm writing my next book on fear and anxiety. Those are the two things that stop us from living our most joyful life. And
yeah.
there's two things I want to ask you. How does your art help you express yourself emotionally? How does it, like, I think it's an outlet for people. I always tell someone I'm a creative too. Find an outlet, find something that you can help express yourself with. When did you start doing the artwork or find that the artwork kind of helped you relieve some of the anxiety or emotions?
Yeah, for me, for example, I do a lot of meditation and I do also journaling. I'm journaling a lot as well. And the art is um, I would say, like, I just feel it. Sometimes I just feel it. Like, for example, like some moments, sad moments, I call them like when the sad moments coming, I'm just like, I'm doing my best to meditate more. I'm like taking like the spa days, I call them like this, because it's kind of like relaxing my brain more because I don't want to think about that. It's like I just say to myself, okay, my body right now is tired, for example, and why I'm asking myself first, like, why I'm making myself so tired? Like, what do I want to do that right now? What that my body wants to do? My body most of the time wants to sleep. A lot of time right now. Like, and I'm thinking, why? Maybe because of the winter. It's a winter time and your body kind of like maybe because of season, because like when I was living in the United States, you don't have time to like listen to your body. Here in Europe, we do have this done. So we kind of like a self-care, you're kind of understanding like, okay, it's like a and after like your brain, because it's going on the completely different speed, it's like doesn't allow your body to relax, because like your brain like, oh, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you have like many things that I can actually do through the day. I know, like so many, many, many things. But I'm
Yeah.
just letting myself like do two or like one or like maximum five things. It's enough. I'm just, even I'm doing one, I'm already giving myself like, great job today. You did amazing. Go and give yourself a hug, or like, just go and sleep a little bit longer. What do you feel like right now? What do you feel? And the funny thing, like today I started to do art. Like
Love
sometimes I
it.
just feel, and I started to create, and I don't know how long it's going to be. Sometimes it's for hours, sometimes it can be for like an hour or two. And it's like I don't have any kind of like, oh, I get to do that. I don't push myself. Like I get to do like started to push myself slowly, but I know that okay, I get to do like for my solo exhibition, for example, like I want to do like 15 pieces. If like more pieces coming out, I'm super happy. If less, I'm super happy too. It's not about like the the, the what it's called, the quantity. It's about quality and enjoyment.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
why I would like to enjoy absolutely everything what I have, and don't listen to the outside world. People would say predict whatever they want through their own filter of life, and you're living in your life. I'm living in my dream. So like people don't see it until they see it. For
Yeah.
now, I'm living in. I know that I'm living my dream, and I'm just feeling like okay, I don't know like what's next. I have the ideas, and I will work, and at the same time I get to listen to my body. My
Yeah.
body right now needs relaxation and like meditation, and just like even it's just 4 hours of meditation, whatever, 6 hours of meditation. This is what your body needs. Do it. That's what I used
Yeah.
to say to the people. It's not about like go 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 every day. It's about like sitting within yourself and listen what matters right now, because we cannot control things outside. We can just feel what we
Right.
have inside and communicate it with our words to the outside world, and see how it will unfold. Because I feel like when I'm listening to my body and I know that okay, I'm going through some process, and I ask myself why, what I'm going through, why it's happening, and I'm like okay, I did this and this and this, why. And the like on top of like what already happened, the other things happen, and after the other, it's like I didn't let myself to process each experience, like
Mhm.
let's say to the fullest. I just kind of like keep going, keep going, keep going. My body cannot like do that anymore. So like it's not like cannot do that anymore. Just like it's grounding for me. Like I'm
Yeah.
feeling what's happening with me right now. It's more like a grounding of accepting my belonging. Like accepting that I belong where I belong, where I choose to belong right now. It's here where I am, and I just feel it. It's just like such a natural process of feeling belonging. And I knew that I felt it before. I was feeling scared to feel
Hmm.
it,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
because
I love very much that you say that because that's how we solve a lot of our problems. I do something called the why exercise in my coaching where you just keep asking yourself, well, why did this happen? Well, this person did this thing to me. Well, why are you bothered that they did this thing? Well, because it hurt my feelings. Why were your feelings hurt by that? Well, because when I was a kid, this happened. Well, why when you were a kid did that happen? Was that your fault? Well, why, and you keep breaking it down. And then all of a sudden you get this like release of, okay, I understand it. And I have so many takeaways from what you're saying, and I love it so much. A, listen to your body. I love that you said that. If you need to meditate for 10 minutes or 6 hours, listen to your body. The whole point of this existence is the mind body spirit connection. When those are healthy and those are in balance, everything else falls into place. I love that you said that. And furthermore, what Aisha is referring to is our intuition. You got to listen to what your intuition says. If it says to do this, you don't understand it, try it anyway. The other thing I love is you and I have the same exact um method. So mine is writing and yours is art. I have said, and you've heard this in other podcast listener, please forgive me for my redundance, but when I started writing, I told myself I will not write when I don't feel good about writing because I'm not going to get 100% perfect the way I want it to be. I'm not going to be able to communicate things as beautifully as I want to if I'm pushing myself to do it. Like you said, well, yeah, you could have 50 pieces out there, or you could have five that you just are in love with and you are so passionate about doing. So that's a takeaway, guys. Don't force yourself to do anything. I know we all have work and we have to pay our bills, but try not to force yourself when it comes to your fun, your family, your hobbies, your things that make you feel joy. Don't turn those into work, you know? And the other thing that I love that you got me thinking, if you, I don't care where you live, if you live in a cold place, you can still go to the place that feels good for you. You said it best. I've got to take care of myself. Why am I so tired lately? I'm feeling the weather. It's kind of dreary. I'm going to rest. So whether you, whatever your culture is or your surroundings, be it weather or whatever, you have the choice and the opportunity to put yourself where you want to be. You can pretend it's sunny. Put a sunlight in a lamp in your office, put your bikini on and drink a cocktail. You know, pretend you're on the beach, play some wave music or whatever. There's a way that you can always find joy in your life, which brings me to your book, which this is a perfect segue to your Joyful Living Guidebook. I want to know for our listeners, what's in this guidebook that you can help us with? I think we're going to expand on what you've been saying, but what can our listeners get out of your book?
So in my book, people can learn about like how to enjoy their struggles by choosing them. Again, about choice that we were talking about. Everything is about choice. How to use the power of my manifestation through the meditation by imagining it.
Mm.
By clear, like like manifestation or imaginary. Don't think about money. Don't think about how, and don't think about. Just imagine that you're there, feel it,
Oh,
like for real, feel it. And also like when you go through some breakup, whatever, it's just give yourself like a day to experience that. Next day, just take yourself on a date, and you never know how it's going to turn around. But don't spend so much time on being like sad about some guy, because he doesn't deserve your attention. If it's over, it's over. You don't need to think so much about that, because I feel like nowadays we, especially when after relationship, and we know we're going through some like a hard breakup, whatever, and like it's like it takes a lot of our energy, and I'm just asking myself like, why people are spending so much time of thinking about something, that instead to move forward, and instead to just like, I'm young, I'm beautiful, it's all great. Maybe I get to get myself on a little bit better, but because I was too cozy, whatever. But like I get to kind of like get myself back. Of course, it's not easy, but you don't look for that. If it's happening in a natural way. If you decide to look for that, do it too. It's all optional. I'm just feeling like, feel yourself, feel like your body, what's your body feel. Don't overthink and overreact. I'm just feeling like people spending so much time on the past instead to focusing on now, what they can do now, what they can change now, what they can transform now, their thoughts. And then every time when they come back to the past, I'm telling them, you're creating the stories again. It's not there. Like, change your story. You have a power of change. You have a power of choice. To
right.
instead to play victim, be a winner. What it is to be a winner in the story, what it is to be a superhero, what it is to be a hero of your own story, or like a queen, or I don't know, king, whatever, god, goddess, whatever you decided in your world who you are. Just be it. Or if you decided be just Aisha, be Aisha, in this case. But like, just feel yourself. Like, feel yourself in the moment. Don't, you have this moment to express yourself. And don't overthink. If you like overthinking and haven't taken the moment is gone. Forget about that. New moment will come over.
Yeah.
Just be creative, you know,
Yeah.
be creative of each day of your life. And I'm also inviting people to create joyful container. Like when you're connecting with other people in your mind, or sometimes you can share, I would like to create joyful container together, like I would love to like our relationship being joyful and just creating it. You're giving
Yeah.
yourself permission to create a joyful container. And I
Mhm.
just like, the whole earth for me is a joyful container. So like, I feel safe. More I started to think about the joyful container, I'm feeling more and more safe within myself to be me, authentic me.
I love
And
that. And you're saying too, like, have people with you in your container, like bring in people that are as joyful as you are, bring things in that are as joyful as you want. My favorite thing that you
lift
said.
people vibration. They like when they're next to me, they're feeling more uplifted, they're feeling more energy, they're feeling I'm giving them energy
Yeah.
because I have so much energy to give. And at the same time, I'm right now need my own energy for myself. So like because I get to create art, I get to do some my things. The other day I was trying to do my working. I'm starting to work towards my online program. I'm already working like for almost a year, and I already wrote down my 33 models and everything, and but I couldn't do the videos. I still like I'm sitting there and I have everything like written, and I get to just like read it through and kind of like not with the word, but kind of like with my own words. And I feel like I'm still not there. Like
Mhm.
I still cannot like I don't know how to explain it. Like kind of like I'm pushing myself too much right now, and I'm
Yeah.
feeling like I'm just getting so exhausted of just doing like a 3 videos or 4 videos because I get to watch and rewatching again, and kind of like see if I like it or not like it. And I get to think like, okay, if I can cut it and do this, how I'm going like, and I'm just like, in the end, I'm deleting many videos and I'm saying to myself, okay, at least like two is okay today, and I'm like, for me to do all of that work all the time, it's just so tiring, and I'm just after like 2 hours of work or 3 hours of work, I'm already exhausted for the days after that. So
I
I'm like feeling,
know. I get that. You're like me. You know why you're tired? Because you're a creative. You are not a logical thinker. We are not. I'm not capable of sitting at. My husband sits at. He's an engineer, so he sits at a computer all day long, and he's on the phone. I can't do that. I need in between podcasts. I need 30 minutes. I gotta go outside by nature. I'm like you. I it just it sucks the energy out of me. I'm
yeah,
exhausted.
a lot.
But you, and that's a really good point. We're going to wrap it up a little bit here, but that's a really good point is if you're doing something and it just feels exhausting and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, I'm with you. I do not like technology. I'm not good at technology. I know when you have a business, you got to do the SEO and the marketing and all of that stuff is not me. I just want to flit through life and just dance and have a good time. But obviously, that doesn't work. It's not lucrative. But a good thing to do that you just brought up or that you helped me to bring up is step away. Step away from something that is dragging you down and you're like, I've got to get this. It's kind of like when we were in school and we were working on a math problem, and your mom calls you for dinner, you go have dinner and come back and now you can solve the math problem. Sometimes we need to just step away and then come back, A, when we feel better, B, when our intuition or we're well rested, when our body's like, okay, I can tackle this now. But
Exactly.
we get in that hustle mode where I've got to get this program done and I need to do my master class. It's a lot, especially if it's not something that you thoroughly enjoy. You could do 6 hours of art, but spending a half an hour doing these videos for a class is like, oh my God, it's exhausting. So maybe that's the key here to tell our listeners, find the thing that doesn't feel exhausting and you know you're in your passion. So I think that's a good way for us to end it. But what I want to do is I want to let you share where our listeners can find you and your book and all that good stuff. Your art. I want to know where we can see your art. So let us know where to find you.
So people can go to my website, Aisha.today is AISHA dot today. And also you can, you can book. I also do like mentorship about dream life, how to live the dream life. In my book, you can get on Amazon, Joyful Living Guidebook by Aisha Makara. It's on all platforms, so just Google it. It's there. And yeah, I think my art is also on my website. You can get it on my website as well. You can see it. You can, and also you can book me as a speaker. I would love to speak for your conference or whatever summit.
Love
I'm
it.
ready to share wisdom.
I love it. You and I are going to be on a summit together soon, girl. I know we are. Um,
Yes, I
so
want to. It
it's
will be so much fun.
Aisha.today.com. That's your website.
No, just Aisha that today. Today it's Aisha that today.
Oh, no.com.
No.com. It's just
Wow.
like
How fun is that? That's easy to remember, right? All
yeah.
right. I'll have
You make it like
those.
a little bit easy.
Yeah, right. I'm with you. I'm with you. My website is a
No,
one-stop shop.
I'm working on my other website. It's called like joyfullivings.com, where I'm going to write about the joyful livings. And I have also my Medium account where I'm writing articles about joy. And it's like I'm just doing it for fun and like what I feel like to do. And I'm writing my own things. And I'm just feeling like with ChatGPT, it's also like repetition, repetition, repetition. And I would like to kind of be more me. I'm feeling like be authentic, it's better. Even so, you sometimes you can get like a help from ChatGPT, but I think this is like just have ideas, like kind of like direction. Sometimes they very good to give you direction and you get to write yourself. I think it's better just
Yeah.
using them as kind of like a template to think sometimes if you're stuck a little bit on your thinking process, so they can give you some ideas. And I'm just feeling like right now we also have so many tools over there. It's just too much sometimes for
Yeah.
us. Like for me, it's like it's just a lot to handle. And I'm like, you know what?
That's
I
true.
don't know anymore. Like it's not easy even right now to understand what is good, what is not good.
I know.
What is like you get to figuring out, and to figuring out it takes so much a long time, and everyone get to figuring out for their own because everyone is kind of like to figuring out on their own
It's
somehow because who decided to go like figuring out it they figuring out and understanding what's best for them. But there's so many like vision and missions of different companies and different corporate and different groups and different networks. I'm lost. I'm right now figuring out. I want to be corporate. I want to be corporate. I want to be like a life coach for the corporate, like
Mm,
a company, the
sure.
biggest, the most like fun, the most positive, amazing corporate company. I don't know what name is it, and I would like to just to coach people there and have fun, about joyful living. It will be such a great, opportunity to create. I don't know, but I'm just feeling like when I'm continue, just like kind of like I know I get to be in a corporate right now because I wanna. Corporate has a conferences, and all of that, and so it could be good to like organize some things for the corporate and
Mhm.
actually like also be the
Sure.
speaker, be the host, as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah. Be that mentor. Be the mentor and the
Be the
coach
mentor
for
and
a positive work
hosting
environment.
some events, host like talking,
Yeah.
like it would be fun. I mean, why not? I'm just feeling like anything is possible. It's just like I get to get more clarity on, well, like I already know that I belong in Europe.
Yeah.
Europe is also big. I'm flexible, and I just know I want to be in Europe. I don't want to go like outside of Europe. I really love Europe. Europe has a history. I love the castles. I love the all of this like
I was going to ask
everything,
you.
like all these houses. I really love.
Yes,
I'm
that's what I was going to
also
ask you. Your
I
favorite one.
also I love the I love nature as well, but I like this little I like houses and castles and boats and kind of like I would say I'm a queen, princess, pirate. I like also pirating around, like just kind of having fun sometimes. But like it's just like I'm imagining myself me and at the same time like have so many like different me. So like I'm just feeling what's next. But I know that I have that confidence and I get to be like in the community, I would say, like in this society, whatever you call, because isolate ourselves, artists likes to isolate themselves. It's also great, and I know that I will do that in some point of my life a lot. But the thing is, for now, I get to kind of like a little bit push myself towards that,
Yeah.
and I think the
Well,
body was kind of getting ready for this experience because a
oh
lot of
yeah.
people like demand a lot of energy. So I get to be like, ooh, the energy is coming from the
Woo!
cosmos, from the space directly to you
That's
guys.
right. It's got to build
I'm
up.
just
Well,
channeling consistently.
if there's anything that we have learned about you in this last hour, it's that you will accomplish it because that's who you are. You created that life and you're going to continue to create these
Oh,
amazing
winner,
things.
we're winners. Remember, we're all winners.
Oh, heck yeah. And
By
and
being in this world, we're already winners.
that's correct. Well, thank you for being here. And I'm going to leave the listeners with the last piece of what you said, which is imagine what you want, not how you'll have it, but when you have it. And that's probably the golden nugget that I took away today from you, Aisha. So thank you so much for being here. You're just an absolute joy. So, listeners, I hope you enjoyed Aisha because she's just a bright, shining light, and you can just hear her enthusiasm for life. So, I hope, listeners, that's what you took from today is go out there and live a life that you're so excited to live that you want to live 200 to 400 years because that's when you know you're truly living life. So I love you all for being here again. You know where to find me. I'll give you those links for Aisha, and I'll also have her book in our show notes when I publish her episode. So I am at lifecoachmaureen.com. Super easy. My books, my speaking, my everything is there, my coaching. And my books, my dog is more enlightened than I am. My dog is my relationship book, relationship coach, and my children's book, My Dog Bexley is Just Like Me, will teach your little guys 0 to 6 meditation and relaxation and how to be mindful. So thank you all for being here today. I love you. Don't forget, send me show ideas, send me requests to be a guest. Send me comments. Please keep them positive. I love positivity and I want to be filled with your positive energy. And anything else that you feel is critical that I need to know, or just say hello. Just say hello, Maureen. I really enjoyed that episode with Aisha, and I just want to say thank you for sharing her with us. So, on that note, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day and rest of your week. I love ya. Since this is on Wednesdays, it will be you enjoying your week, your Thursday and your Friday. Please take care of yourself, take care of each other. Most of all, take care of those furry babies. Please make sure that you adopt and do not shop because there are plenty of orphaned furry babies out there. And Aisha knows that it's important to get a forever family. And so our furry friends out there, kitties and puppies, need a forever home. And there's someone out there, or there's a puppy out there for you or kitty that will choose you. So I love you all. Until next week, mwah!